Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the Las Vegas Raiders training camp. Now, day two didn't go as smoothly as hoped. The offense, including Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell, had some struggles with consistency. But here's the silver lining. The Raiders' defense is looking incredible. Whether it's Minshew or O'Connell, going up against this defense is no easy task. To put it simply, in my opinion, the Raiders have a top 5 defense right now. The defensive backfield, which was a big question mark, seems to be performing well. Whether it's Marcus Epps, Trayvon Moehrig, or Jacorian Bennett, the defensive backs are holding their own. Before we dive deeper into today's observations, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for daily Raiders and NFL content. If we can hit 250 likes on this video, it would mean a lot to me. Remember, it's normal for defenses to look better than offenses in the early days of training camp. Don't be alarmed by any reports about Minshew or O'Connell. Last season, the NFL didn't fully recognize the Raiders' defensive talent. This year, it's clear that the defense is ahead of the offense, especially with a new offensive coordinator like Luke Getsy. So, while the offense might need a bit more time to click, don't lose hope. The focus today was primarily on the red zone, so stay tuned for more updates. Let's be honest, the Raiders' offense struggled today. Everything I've heard points to difficulties in the red zone. It was interesting to see Gardner Minshew start the day. I'm not a big fan of this move. It's not about Minshew himself, but rather the situation. If Aiden O'Connell isn't the starting quarterback or doesn't become the franchise guy, we need to explore other options. Minshew, while experienced, has his limits. He led the Colts to a 9-8 record last year, but if he's the starter for the Raiders long term, it could be a problem. Remember, it's only day 2 of training camp, and the offense is facing a top 5 defense. Here's what we saw today. Gardner Minshew had multiple interceptions. Aiden O'Connell also struggled. Trayvon Moehrig and Marcus Epps had some interceptions as well. Don't panic. Early training camp is usually tougher on offenses. No matter which team you are, the defense often looks better at this stage. The bright side is that the defensive backfield looks strong. Jack Jones is impressing the coaches, and Jacorian Bennett, expected to be the second quarterback, is also showing promise. Marcus Epps and Trayvon Moehrig made some key plays today. Aiden O'Connell had a tough time in the red zone and had a turnover-worthy play. We're still waiting for Malcolm Koonce to have his breakout season. He showed glimpses last year under Antonio Pierce, and we're hoping he can become the star edge rusher we need. Lastly, Tyrone Wilson looks really good. Let's talk about some positives. Gardner Minshew did manage to throw a couple of touchdowns today, including to Davante Adams. It's a good sign that Minshew used his legs effectively to secure some touchdowns and first downs during the drills. However, I have to admit, I'm concerned. We've been covering the Raiders for a few years now, and if Minshew ends up as the starting quarterback, I'd be pretty disappointed. This isn't a knock on Minshew personally, but more about the situation. If Aiden O'Connell is struggling in the red zone and Minshew isn't, we could face issues for week 1. Now, onto some injury updates. Kolton Miller is expected to be out for a few more weeks. We're seeing Andrus Peat starting at left tackle, which makes sense given his experience. However, if Miller starts the season on the PUP, physically unable to perform, list, he won't be eligible to return for at least 4 weeks. If Miller doesn't come back during training camp or preseason, he might start slowly, which is concerning. The good news is that JPJ, Jarian Percy Johnson, should be back in a few practices, according to GM Tom Teske. There's also buzz around Dylan Lobby. He's an exciting rookie compared to Christian McCaffrey and could be a valuable player, whether as a special teams asset or backup running back. He's definitely someone to watch this season. Lastly, Brock Bowers is making a splash. He's looking like one of the fastest receivers in the Raiders roster. That's all for today. It's late here in Florida, and my birthday is just around the corner. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button and subscribe. Let me know which under-the-radar player you're most excited to follow in training camp for the Raiders. Thanks for watching, and peace out.